We're just two guys with one mission, and we've chosen to accept it for some reason. It's time to tell them what we mean, what we say.
Hey.
Oh my god, wow.
Hey, wow, what was that?
We just watched Don't Go in the Woods.
Alone.
Yes, aka Don't Go in the Woods.
Yeah. Take your pick.
This is a film from 1981. It was super low budget.
Super low budget.
Super low budget. And wow.
It was something.
I think I kind of liked it.
Yeah, you would.
And I think I kind of liked it for all the wrong reasons. The plot is very thin on the ground.
Yeah, bunch of teens, I want to say. Teens, early 20s, go into the woods. And something starts attacking them. Turns out that something is Manbearpig.
Manbearpig, yeah.
It's definitely a man. He's definitely dressed as a bear. Probably smells like a pig.
And he looks like Brian Blessed.
For some reason he has rosary beads on
over his face. Yeah, bad. It's kind of like Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
It's kind of
generic slashery.
But in general, it was definitely one of the funniest films I've seen, and it was pretty awful. It was so awful that I kind of liked it.
Yeah.
The acting is supremely wooden.
Bad.
It's like the script is basically people just saying the same thing over and over again.
Yep.
Manbearpig just turns up and his weapon of choice is a log with a knife in it.
Knife stuck in the end of it.
He kidnaps a baby and then the baby is playing with an axe.
Yeah, well, that's the old twist at the end, isn't it?
There's a heavy-set cop who's solving crimes. There's a very camp deputy sheriff, I want to say. I don't know whether he was the park ranger.
There's a guy in a wheelchair who appears literally about an hour into the movie.
Yeah, he just
for no reason.
We don't know who he is. We don't know his name. He just tools around and then he gets his head cut off.
In a brilliant way, apropos of absolutely nothing else.
Lots of people get stabbed with wood.
Yeah, the wood with the knife on the end of it. It's like stabbing.
Someone tries to hide behind a
brutal fucking killing in the shack.
Yeah, they go to a shack and someone. Yeah, it's really rough.
Unbelievably fucking rough.
There was no music.
No music, which makes it creepier in a kind of Blair Witchy way, but without it being a found footage Blair Witch kind of way.
Yeah, I don't really know what else to say about it. It was.
Yeah, it's as it. Yeah, if Blair Witch was made by rank amateurs and not found footage, and instead of a Blair Witch you have a Manbearpig.
Yeah, it's like if someone said, "What if we?" Yeah, I just can't believe.
I think that's the best way to describe it.
Yeah, it's Texas Chainsaw Massacre with Manbearpig, and I laughed a lot.
Yeah, I think this does actually.
This might be.
I think this does transcend into So Bad It's Good.
I think that
might be the first one that we've done so far.
That this was so poorly made.
Yeah.
This was like Neil Breen. Like, do you remember that scene in the? Like, we were thinking, oh my god, when the film started, we were really like, going, oh my god, this is going to be so terrible. And then it got to this scene where this couple making out in a VW camper van, and then it turns into a Neil Breen movie where the guy's just like saying the same line over and over again. He goes outside, he gets his face smushed up against the glass, and goes, "Arr!" She starts screaming, and then Manbearpig pushes the VW van down a hill, and it rolls off, and then
with her still going, which she definitely would be at the very least unconscious, at best dead.
And then it explodes.
Because of course it does.
That was the turning point.
That's what
for me,
vehicles
where I was
do.
really like, okay, I am on board with this piece of shit.
Yeah.
I don't really know what else to say. I don't think you can ruin this movie by describing the plot, although I don't really think that it's that important.
Well, again, there isn't really a plot as such, is there?
Yeah, they just go to the
really
woods.
It's just a bunch of people going to the woods. There's a fucking lunatic dressed as Manbearpig.
Yeah.
On the loose.
And with his log
log knife.
the girl who gets traumatized by the whole thing manages to escape and then goes back and
is taken back
by
the cops.
By a by the doctor, by a very irresponsible doctor.
Yeah, seems slightly reckless.
And
come back to the scene of your trauma 2 hours later.
And then she steals a machete and then she takes revenge.
Yeah.
It's not particularly gory, but it was surprisingly entertaining with maybe one or two
really fucking vicious bits.
No, I was saying like pacing problems.
Yeah.
Like there was a couple of bits where it's the energy dipped because I wasn't laughing. I was just like waiting for the next ridiculous thing to happen.
Yeah.
But then it did, and then I was like back on board.
But then again, if you were watching it with your mates, you're just like, oh, you've got to see this piece of crap.
like it's like
you would be talking all the way through that anyway.
Yeah,
and then when that fucking head comes off, I mean, good God, that was amazing. That was fucking phenomenal because it's literally apropos of nothing, and it's just like, oh my God.
Yeah, like I don't know, they just put it in there just to entertain us.
Yeah, we haven't laughed that much for a long, long time,
and it was absolutely worth it.
100%. Last question first. Would you recommend this? Absolutely.
Yes, I would recommend it.
Get drunk, get stoned, watch this. It's fucking brilliant. It's so bad, it's good. So, what else is there to say?
Nothing. Let's score it out.
Should we jump on it?
Yeah, let's score it out. I think this is really simple. Story. What would you give it for story, Steve?
Unfortunately, just one because there isn't. It's teens go to woods, get attacked.
I'm going to give
That's the story.
I'm going to give it an extra point. I'm going to give it a 2 because of Manbearpig.
Okay.
Because this predates.
It does predate Manbearpig.
Manbearpig.
Yeah.
But it was just so instantly like, oh my God,
that's what it is.
it's literally Manbearpig, and I was on board.
Yeah.
And actually, I can't score it higher than 2. I can't score it higher than 2. For gore, what would you give it?
I'll give it 2. The bit in the shack, especially.
Yeah. I think that pulled it around for like
it was pretty horrible
because it was pretty tame and like goofy.
Yeah,
but that scene was quite rough.
Yeah. That scene came out of nowhere.
Yeah,
that would be the one scene that probably got it banned in the first place. I would assume.
I have no idea what that would have been. I don't know why they.
I assume just that because it is just fucking. It's relentless.
Yeah,
it's relentless for a little while.
But like
slash
compared
slash,
to
slash,
everything
slash,
else,
slash.
it was like. I just feel.
Yeah, I mean everything else was PG.
Was Stephen King called it scary good fun? Yeah, I'm going to give it a 2 also for the gore because it was entertaining.
Yeah,
and like the effects basically were an extra layer to the hilarity cake, except for that one scene. For overall creativity,
not much. Manbearpig. Pretty creative. I mean, they created that character.
I'm actually going to score it pretty high because, like, if this film...
knife stuck in the end of it.
No, like, there's so many elements of why I'm going to rate it, though, but mostly it's kind of like an Evil Dead situation. This film cost so little to make.
Yeah, true.
They managed to make, like, I've seen...
So what was it, 20 grand?
20,000, yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen big budget movies that have not entertained me that much.
No.
And... I think there was a lot of like the actors were terrible, but they went for it.
Yeah, I mean it was very much their drama society.
Yeah, they just like everyone.
Hey, let's go to the woods and put on a show.
Everyone was going for it, and everyone wanted to think. And what came out in the end entertained the piss out.
Yeah,
of me.
true. Okay,
and
all right.
And I'm willing to score it quite highly. It loses a point for sort of being a Texas Chainsaw Massacre ripoff.
Yeah, I got 3 then.
Yeah, I'm actually going to go for a 4.
Woo, big numbers.
Yeah. Okay, for logical sense.
There are people that live in the woods.
Yeah.
And it could be that living out in the woods on your own makes you go crazy.
Yeah, but there's not...
that's not why Ted Kaczynski was crazy, but he did live in the woods and was crazy.
Was he? But
No, no. Sending nail bombs to hospitals. Fuck that shit. Sense.
We're doing sense.
Well, it does make sense. Teens go to the woods to get scared by a dude trying to attack them. Makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, it makes sense. Except,
I mean, I'd fucking shit myself if I saw that in the woods.
Yeah, I probably would too. I'd probably react the same way.
Yeah, you shit my pants and try and run away.
Yeah.
So that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
It's not like let's make a stand and fight here. It's like
So I reckon it loses a bit. It loses some points for the introduction of the character just to get his head cut off, and what the hell's going on with Manbearpig.
Yeah. Okay. 2 them.
You're going to 2. I'm going to give it a 3.
Mr. Contrarian.
Well, how is it contrary if I score it 1 high?
Because everything I say, you're just going, right, I'll just give it 1 more.
No, I'm not saying because that's not contrary, though. How is that contrary? Do you understand what the word means? Yeah. Stop texting.
I can't help it.
Listen to my ranting.
Pause.
Now, this is going to be the tricky one, because we just read on the Internet Movie database that there is a score for this movie.
But it wasn't on the film that we saw. But
it wasn't on the version we saw.
So, zip-de-doo-dah.
Yeah, it gets 0. I wonder whether we need to, at some point...
Well, I also like the fact that they called it Infamous. It says on here that it was an Infamous theme song played over the closing credits. Now that also wasn't on our version.
Should we pause it and look for the theme song? Okay, we'll be back. Time passing,
and we're back. So we just heard "Don't Go Into the Woods,"
the song
by H. Kingsley Thurber.
Yeah, it was kind of funny, I guess.
Well, it's a play on "If You Go Into the Woods Today."
It's a teddy bear's picnic.
Yeah.
Don't copyright strike me, please.
Yeah, it's kind of a play on that, but it's "Don't Go Into the Woods" something.
So there's a friendly beast, which is not there yet, or you go. Which is it's true. That's the movie in a nutshell.
I mean, it was kind of.
It changes the tone.
It's kind of Brechty. Is that what I'm thinking of? Kurt Weill, Brecht. Like Alabama song. Yeah, bloody uneducated.
Yeah, I'm an uneducated guy.
I think that would change the mood of the entire fucking movie.
Yeah, I think we need to give it a 0.
Yeah,
because we don't know.
Yeah,
but I am tempted to find a version with the proper soundtrack.
I mean, we can do an addendum to this if you find it. I'm not watching the fucking film again. Not for a while.
Yeah, I would do it in my own time, and then but I think maybe we should do it in our own time, and then when we get to the end of this marathon, maybe we can adjust scores.
Yeah, possibly.
Like we might actually watch it again and then realise that we don't like the movie as much.
Possibly.
This is a better thing. So we're both giving the music a 0 because there wasn't any.
There wasn't any. Yeah.
Okay.
Which actually kind of made it a bit creepier. I think if there had been music in the movie, it would have detracted from it. Like, say, that whole kind of found footage in a movie, even though it's not found footage, stuff about people in the woods. There is no music in the woods. There's not even diegetic music in the woods.
Okay, for a final score of 19 out of 50.
So that's the same as...
It's the same as Eaten Alive. I think that...
I enjoyed this more.
Yeah.
The other one was a better film. Eaten Alive was a better move.
It was a bit more competently made, but it was nowhere near as entertaining as Don't Go in the Woods.
No, not at all.
Alone.
Yeah. This was super entertaining.
Yeah, and would you recommend this movie, Steve? I know you already mentioned it, but what would you do if someone...
I absolutely would.
Okay, yep, me too. I would say, I'm surprised, actually, that I haven't seen this film come up in one of those YouTube channels that only reviews bad movies.
Yeah, you would assume it would, because there's a lot of points that at least one of them could pick apart for, like, hours.
Yeah, because it's hilarious.
Yeah, yeah, it's entertaining and terrible at the same time, which is, bread and butter for some channels.
Yes. And on that note, I guess we're done, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
We're petering out, are we?
Well, what else is there to say, It was fun.
I had a good time.
I would recommend it to people having a night in watching bad movies. Yeah.
It's definitely a party movie.
Yeah. Yeah. I think if you watched this on your own, you would just be terribly bored.
Yeah, unless you're a one-man party.
I am not.
No, I lost that skill.
Yeah. So that's it for now.
Yeah, that's everything. Bye. Smash that like button.
Smash mouth.
Smash mouth.